Emma Louise Orcutt was an ephemeral American writer. I know she was born sometime prior to 1840 in Chicopee, Massachusetts. Presumably she married, as she is referenced as Mrs. Orcutt in newspapers, which also say she was a resident of Linden or Springfield. In 1897, one of her short stories was adapted by Edward Waitzel into a play, Flood Tide. In 1901, she published a seemingly normal novel, Esther Mather. I have no idea when she died, as the Emma Louise Orcutt I found who died in 1933, and who was born as Emma Louise Knott, maybe isn't her, due to a birth date of 1857 and a birthplace in New Hampshire. Today we shall cover the one reason she's still remembered, her 1909 harebrained romance, The Divine Seal. The novel begins sometimes in or after the 22nd century, and at first may seem to be a boring chronicle of futuristic wonders of technology, but soon we realize the scientific expedition we are being told about is going to set off for the frozen north to look for the mysterious Zalala. Also, the narrator mentions in passing that, by the way, Atlantis is real and we excavated it, and we learn that during the excavation they found a diamond chest, submerged in lava, and containing records going back 1,000,000 years. These documents mention Zalala, but the novel is very reticent on why they actually want to find her, but there are hints of her being the link between man and beast. The entire expedition is dead set on finding her as a singular specific individual. The narrator is one Uzzane Slav, whose main assistant Zima is devoted to mystery, and his main goal is to die a mysterious death. They come across a group of people on a glacier. Rescuing them, they discover that these people speak an ancient Aryan language, and one of them sometimes has a snake for a head. This man Ozomoff is the villain of the novel, and him sometimes having snake features until he does not is something the crew just takes for granted and isn't at all curious about, but everyone is in agreement that they hate him on first sight. The other survivors include Issachar and his daughter Talma. Inevitably, Uzzane and Talma fall in love, even before he knows Issachar is a king. Just about this time, a ship discovers a city full of people who never seem to move. Going closer, they see all the inhabitants have been petrified and turned into human-like stone. Going to the temple, they find a wedding that had been taking place for thousands of years, with the bride and bridegroom frozen in stone forever. The sight of them shakes Talma and Issachar, as they seem to know them. We find they were Yondingha and Nunlin, and they and their country were destroyed, and they were turned to stone because they dared to marry, all relating to an ancient record, relating to an old barbaric prophecy, kept by Issachar and his line as kings of the island nation of Heclades, which had once been one nation with Atlantis. For you see, Ozomoff is one of an ancient line of snake-like demonic princes who have the right to demand the hand of a princess of the line of Nunlin. She is given to one of his line, and suffers in his union for some months before being burned alive in a funerary pyre. This had been the ironclad law of the nation of Heclades for thousands of years. Only the discovery of the Zalala, held sacred by the people, can free the woman from the terrible bondage. But none had ever found her. When Yondingha and Nunlin dared defy this command, they were visited by divine punishment, so none dares do so ever again. The expedition had found the body of a tribeswoman of Zalala in a chest, but all efforts to find her are hollow, since the old people kept moving the body of Zalala around, but Uzzane has to do so, to avoid the people burning his beloved to death to appease the serpent-headed rogue. The whole thing is extremely unusual, over the top, and thus very readable, the author being able to write some decent scenes of pathos as well.